G'day there and welcome to Tour the World, the show that brings you the best in small group touring to some of the world's most exciting travel destinations. And along the way, we meet real people just like you, sharing real travel experiences with our cameras. Should be a whole lot of fun. Now, what's your idea of the perfect holiday? Well, on this trip, I'm looking for a bit of culture and the opportunity to get to know the locals. Good food that's well priced. I'd like to learn a bit of the history of the place I'm visiting. Great shopping, that's a must. And enough time for some R&R. After all, I'm on holiday. Well, for this trip, I'm a guest of Geckos on their 10-day Cambodia in-depth tour. So let's see if it ticks all my boxes. Our tour starts in Siem Reap before heading south to the capital, Phnom Penh, then across through the Khmer National Park to the coast at Sihanoukville. From the breathtaking splendour of Angkor Wat to the past horrors of civil war and the Pol Pot regime, Cambodia today is a mass of colour and contradictions. Peace has finally come to this beautiful country, and here you'll discover a real sense of serenity amongst the temples and spectacular gardens, where music and laughter are finally a way of life. This small nation of 15 million people is starting to take its place as a holiday hotspot. It's chaotic, it's exotic, it's intoxicating. And we're on tour, so we're going to need a tour guide. G'day, Sammy.
Hey, welcome to Geckos Tour Dam.
Thank you. You're going to show me around?
Yes, we have tuk-tuk.
Awesome. So, Sammy, tell me, what can we expect from a tour of Cambodia with you?
Okay, in Cambodia we can see the people, culture of the people, the living style of the people different at your country. And we see the temple, our world heritage. And also we can do shopping for local production. It can be scarf or it can be a lot more handmade wood or stone carving.
Well, so far so good. That's everything on my list. I'm travelling with 6 Aussies, 1 Brit and 1 South African, and it's time to cover off a few of the basics. Travel on this tour is by way of an air-conditioned minibus that's big enough to be comfortable but small enough to navigate some pretty tight city streets. There's local transport involved in the way of tuk-tuks, cyclos and even an ox cart. Accommodation is clean, comfortable and surprisingly good for a budget tour. Breakfast is included, and don't be surprised to find that some hotels have pools or even this rather lovely rooftop spa. Now, most people that come to Cambodia have just one thing on their minds: temples, and they don't come any more spectacular than this. You know, Angkor is anything and everything to the Cambodian people and their culture, and it's easy to see why. But you know, even though these structures are centuries old, the story for Cambodia is only just beginning. We're starting our day early to beat the crowds. First stop, the Temple of Ta Prohm, an awesome example of the power of nature and the way these temples were literally swallowed up by the jungles for so many centuries. Now, if you think this looks a little like a movie set, you are right. The movie Tomb Raider with Angelina Jolie was filmed right here. So there's just an incredible sense of peace and tranquility here, and if you can get up early and get here before the crowds, it is so worth it. And when you compare this peace and tranquility to what the country's gone through over the last 3 decades with civil war and the horrors that they'd experienced, just having this as a constant, I think just would have been amazing for them. Next stop is the Bayon Temple in the dead centre of the great city of Angkor. Now this spot is popular at sunrise, so again, get there early. Looking at the famous smiling faces, 216 of them in total, you kind of get the feeling there's a joke going around and you're not in on it. So this is an opportunity you don't get very often here in Cambodia, to have a conversation with two Buddhist monks, let alone two Buddhist monks from Australia. I have Dekon Terry and Dekon Ol, who are here doing some work in the country. Gentlemen, what are your perceptions of Cambodia during this trip?
It's difficult when you first come to see the way people live, but I think they have so much more than what we do. They seem to have happiness and peace in their heart, no matter what they've got. And I think that's what we all need in our lives.
Absolutely. And as the temperature soars, we head for the main attraction, Angkor Wat, the heart and soul of Cambodia. The climb to the central tower is incredibly steep, but well worth the effort for the sensational views. Now, there are some serious stairs here at Angkor, so you're going to need a really good pair of walking shoes. You're going to need water, sunscreen, a hat. If you forget one like me, you're going to have to pay top dollar for one when you get here. Back on the air-conditioned comfort of the bus, and we head for our final stop of the day. It's another steep climb to the hilltop temple of Phnom Penh, either by foot or obliging elephant, for a spectacular view of the entire Angkor site at sunset. Now up here, the sheer scale of the 200 square kilometre site becomes clear. It has been an absolutely huge day today. We visited Angkor Wat and the other temples. It's just been incredible. Now we've hiked to the top of this mountain to look at this spectacular sunset. Awesome. Now, once you're all templed out, there is so much more to Cambodian culture to discover. And while the cities are the place to shop, play and stay, out in the country, Cambodians enjoy a more traditional way of life. And with 50% of the population under the age of 15, children are going to make your stay here really something special. Floating village of Chong Nis, complete with floating school, market and basketball court, gives us a glimpse of a different way of life to that of Cambodia's bigger cities like Siem Reap. And there are yet more amazing photo opportunities.
What I love most about Cambodia, the photography. It seems to be a photograph to be taken around every corner. I'm trying to capture as much as I can so that I can show my nephews in Scotland just how different life is out here. So we're spending tonight with a local family on the edge of the Khmer Rouge National Park, southwest of Phnom Penh. It's a good chance to mix it with the locals. We're told it's pretty basic, so it could get rough and it could get tough, but we've got all the essentials. Plenty of cold beer and these little babies to toast on the open fire. Yes! To kick things off, we thumb a ride to the national park with the only form of local public transport on offer.
You know, I don't know who smells worse, me or the cows. And the homestay showers look very, very interesting.
Then it's time to work up an appetite for dinner with a 3-kilometre hike through the park before a welcome cool-off under a spectacular 40-metre mountain waterfall. After an amazing dinner and a display of traditional dance, the generators and the lights go off at 8.
Now, seriously, I thought that roosters were supposed to crow at dawn. This one crows all night long, but other than that, the sleep wasn't too bad. And here I am enjoying the local facilities, and it's pretty chilly, let me tell you. Okay.
While Vietnam and Thailand are internationally renowned for their cuisine, Cambodia is really starting to catch up. Dining out here is an amazing experience, and while there are similarities with others in the region, Khmer cooking manages to put its own special slant on every dish. Now, you're going to come across food here that's unusual, challenging, and maybe just a little bit odd. Go with it.
From the upmarket bistros of Phnom Penh to Siem Reap's tourist mecca Bar Street to the plethora of roadside food stalls, there is something to suit every taste and budget. It's fresh, it's spicy, and it draws on influences from across the Southeast Asian region. Don't miss the chance to try a mok. You'll find it on every menu.
I've been a lover of Thai food for a long, long time, but I have to think that this food is a lot better than Thai food. It's a lot less spicier, but it's very fresh, lots of colourful ingredients, and a very great taste.
Now, there are lots of different ways you can eat in Cambodia. Obviously, you've got your restaurants and your street stalls and so on. Have you had much experience with those?
Well, I definitely recommend the FCC for the sunset view, and there's very good meals there as well. Otherwise, just close by on the riverfront, there's many restaurants, again, catering to all different types of food, Indian, Khmer, pizza, it's all there.
And one thing we haven't talked about with the food is the prices. How have you found the prices on this trip?
Well, it's most things are in US dollars, and it's all very reasonably priced. You can get $3 or $4. You can eat quite well for that price.
And what about Sihanoukville? Any recommendations there?
Oh, definitely the seafood. It's very fresh, and each night the restaurants will set up barbecues on the beach, and you can do set seafood meals for a few dollars, fish and squid and prawns. Yeah.
Now, if you really want to try something different, a little bit of authentic Cambodian for breakfast, you might want to come down here to the Central Market. It's like one giant Cambodian buffet. Lots of stuff to try here. We've got the chicken legs, we've got the offal for breakfast. But they say, when in Rome.
Visiting a local market like this is an amazing way to really get a feel for local cuisine. Again, get there early to see it in full swing and prepare to be challenged by some of the food on offer.
A lady just walked past selling a bucket of water bugs. I thought I could pop some on toast for breakfast. Yum. Okay, now because I laughed about the water bugs, I now have to try one because the lady's come back. So Sammy here's going to peel one for me and show me how it's done. Oh, that looks... Is it cooked?
Yes, it's
okay. Actually, you know what? That's actually pretty yummy. It tastes like popcorn.
Now it's off to a local cooking class with my ingredients.
Now, with me I have Neri, who runs the cooking classes here at the Cambodian Soup Restaurant in Bar Street in Siem Reap. Neri, you're going to tell us a little bit about making a traditional Cambodian samlor or soup.
Yes.
What are the main ingredients?
For the main ingredient, we have the vegetable like the winter melon, pineapple, tomatoes, and the ingredient we have like shallot, garlic, galangal, and lemongrass. And for the herb, we have coriander herb, Cambodian herb, and spring onion. And for the ingredient like fish sauce, palm sugar, white sugar, chicken salt, and salt.
Okay, so you combine all that together into the soup. How long does it take to cook?
We cook it around 15 minutes.
There is something different to try around every corner, including these salted snails, which kind of taste slimy at best.
Okay, now this is the thing about Cambodia. One minute you can be munching on a nice healthy Mars bar, and the next minute it's a plate of bugs, or a big, fat, hairy spider as the case may be. Okay, take it off, take it off, take it off! And this is what they look like when they're cooked. My hand's shaking. Don't eat, just a tip, don't eat the big fat bit at the back because it's full of gooey goodness and you're not going to like it at all. Oh my god, that's horrible. Okay, take it up, take it up.
Now, if you need a little extra energy to tackle the next temple, then try some palm sugar, which is prepared locally using traditional methods. It's an instant pick-me-up. There are plenty of restaurants to recommend on this trip, but one that shouldn't be missed is Friends in Phnom Penh. Amazing cocktails and delicious meals that wouldn't look out of place in any top Australian restaurant for just a couple of dollars. And the kitchen is staffed by former street kids getting a new start in life.
While Cambodia has centuries of rich history, to really understand the Cambodia of today, you have to know something about what happened here 30 years ago. Why are there so few older people? Why so many children? Why the shortage of doctors, teachers and lawyers? And while older Cambodians just want to forget the horrors of the Pol Pot regime, for the visitor here, it's essential to understand what happened so you can appreciate the Cambodia of today.
Pol Pot and the Khmer Rouge took control of Phnom Penh back in 1975, and for 3 years, 8 months and 20 days, they systematically murdered thousands of their own people. Now, some estimates put the death toll at 2 million. Thousands of Cambodians were held here at Security Prison 21 in Phnom Penh before being taken to the killing fields outside the city.
Brad, thank you very much for giving us a quick minute to have a chat. You've been showing us around here, and I know that as a child you were a survivor of the Khmer Rouge regime. How does it feel now to be a tour guide and having to sort of relive the past on a day-to-day basis and explain the story to tourists?
Yeah, I get many questions from our traveler asking me about my feeling about this. But I think that the thing is, I think it's very important to tell the world about our suffering. As just like encourage myself that this is very important to tell the world, and we wish the world to help to protect this not to be happen anywhere in the world. And this also can be very good for telling our children, because if we don't tell them, if they do not know about this, one day this can be repeated here.
Cambodia has faced decades of civil war, and while the main urban and tourist areas have long since been cleared, in remote rural areas, landmines are still a deadly threat to the local population. Visit the Landmine Museum outside Siem Reap to learn more. But for many visitors, it's the infamous killing fields that generate the most emotion. You know, it's hard to believe now that these grass-covered hills, just a few kilometres from the centre of Phnom Penh, were once the scene of such brutality.
So it's actually a very peaceful place here. It has a series of undulating hills where the pits, the killing pits were, which are largely filled in. I don't know, there's a really strange sense of peacefulness about the whole place.
Well, I think it's probably the most confronting thing I've ever done, coming here, and also to the museum earlier. I think that was worse, coming here. It seems absolutely incredible that this beautiful place has been the place of so much just devastation for the Cambodian people. I can't say that I've enjoyed it, but it's something that you should do to understand the country, the people, and how they are now.
Now, this is the part of the holiday that I love the best. It's the shopping. And of course, shopping in Asia is fun, it's exciting, it's colourful. Top tips for getting a good bargain: start early. The first sale of the day is supposed to be good luck and you should pick up a good price. Go in at about 40% of the asking price, and don't forget, number one tip, keep a sense of humour. It's only a couple of dollars to you, but it might be dinner to someone else. So how much is this?
$1.30.
$1.30? You're killing me.
Prepare to be dazzled by the sheer array of souvenirs, t-shirts, jewellery, arts and crafts on sale, and the haggling prowess of the locals. The night markets in Siem Reap are lots of fun.
So what have we got here? What's this?
Khmer.
What's this?
Cobra whiskey.
Cobra whiskey?
Yeah.
And what happens? What, you drink it?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and I do happen to know that you're supposed to drink it to give yourself extra good powers at night time. So I don't know what'll happen if you drink this.
But be careful with what you can and can't bring back into Australia. While Southeast Asian economic powerhouses Thailand, Malaysia and Hong Kong are better destinations for label shopping, air-conditioned shopping malls are springing up in major centres across Cambodia. And it seems like everyone is getting in on the air-conditioned action.
So we've been out for a big day of shopping and here we are with Judith. Judith, tell me, what do you think about the shopping in Cambodia?
Oh, the shopping is great. The markets are so colourful, lots of people, lots of locals. There's so much to buy, t-shirts and bags and shoes, artworks.
And what have
everything.
you bought today? What's this? Show me.
Well, I like to buy paintings by local artists, and this is actually was done by a disabled artist, and he supports his family by selling his paintings. And I thought it was just special, a local theme, something to remind me about Cambodia when I go home.
Handmade crafts are a good buy here, including silk, which is manufactured locally using traditional methods passed down from generation to generation. Now, if you want to learn more about where your silk pashmina came from, you can visit a number of silkworm farms outside major centres and see the little guys responsible in action. The colours are absolutely amazing, and you know you're taking home an authentic Cambodian product.
Now, most people like to keep in touch with home by email these days, but if you do want to use the snail mail and you want to send something a little bit special, how about one of these love postcards, which are handmade by Cambodian kids? You can buy them at most city hotels, and money raised goes to keep the kids in school. Can I send those to Australia?
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you. Now, we all like to feel the sand between our toes from time to time, and this tour of Cambodia offers lots of opportunities for R&R. From the beachside chic of Sihanoukville to the massages and facials at a fraction of the price you're going to pay at home, make sure you leave enough time to let this amazing country wash over you.
For beach lovers, Sihanoukville is the spot to head for, and our tour ends here with a couple of days relaxing on the white sandy beaches, sipping the odd icy cold Cambodian beer and watching the world go by along the boardwalk, which is aligned with seafood barbecues. If you like massage, you have come to the right place. It's available anywhere and everywhere.
Now, some people might find this a little bit confronting. This is massage by the blind, and blind people in Cambodia, either through birth or who've developed blindness and haven't had appropriate medical care over the last 2 or 3 decades, now make a great living performing massage, and it is absolutely amazing.
Now, Rosemary, we're talking relaxation in Cambodia. What have you done to relax on this trip?
Well, I've taken advantage of all the massage places around, and I'm really, like I was saying, having hand and foot massages are my very favourite, and I was really pleased to see that the streets are just lined with foot and hand massage places. Average is probably about $5 for an hour, versus an hour at home would be $80 an hour.
And here's yet another group that will be more than happy to have a go at your tired and aching feet.
That is a really bizarre experience. Those fish are going for it. I don't know about you guys, when you've been walking around temples all day long, the last thing you want to do is go near someone's feet. But these fish are loving it. Oh, that's weird. Here's our cameraman resting his feet. It's been a hard day at the temples. So good. You know, if you're tired of trekking around temples or shopping in the markets and you just want to cool off, why not visit one of the city's hotels like this one, the Angkor Village. You can pay between $5 to $20 to use their pool. It is so worth it. You know, if you want something just a little more traditional, you might want to come down here to the banks of the Western Barai outside Siem Reap, and you can cool off from this scorching summer sun with the locals.
And the best bit is, this is absolutely free of charge. Well, if you think this tour ticks all the boxes on your holiday checklist, jump online for more information. Geckosadventures.com. Well, sadly, that is the end of our tour of the magical kingdom of Cambodia, and it has been amazing. Don't forget to join us next time and tour the world with us. See you then.